Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. This isn't really part two, but I just use this on to change the with find and replace. And the gentleman didn't, or the person, I'm going to quit saying gender because I get so many emails. He didn't ask me to do this, but these lines, I mean, the circle is almost perfect, but these lines are sporadic, and maybe that's supposed to be the way the logo is. I don't know. Um, I'm going to get rid of these lines. And I'm just going to move them over here, and you can see just a good way to, now I'm going to nudge him because my nudge factor is big enough. And like I said, he didn't ask me to do this, but I kind of found something kind of irregular with the logo. When I had these numbers, the logo wasn't round, but the logo is round. So I'm going to group it together. I'm going to hit P to put it in the center of the page. Let me move that out of the way and get these dashes out of the way. And I'm going to hit P. There were 14 of them, which makes it a little bit hard on math. But if we take a 2-point line and hit P, and he draws in thick lines, which that's okay. So we have 360 divided by 14 is 25.71. And so 360 divided by 20, 25.71 is that 14. That's not where I was going at. 25.71 divided by 2 is 12.85, because that's going to be half the distance. So I'm going to rotate this thing 12.85. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it. Now that's going to give us a line that they're almost going to be touching. But pretty much because the fact that he draws in a thick line, I'm going to take this line and I'm going to go to Object and I'm going to convert it to the outline to an object. And you'll see why in just a second. Okay, so now we have curves and not lines. I'm going to go ahead and left click, right click. Whoop. See, he draws in such straight. That doesn't make any sense. Let me go back here, make sure I converted this to an object. And I'm going to left click, no fill, right. Man. Let's look at under view and wireframe. See, that's correct, but he draws in such thick lines. Let's go back to enhance. So this is going to work in a way. See, that one didn't do it. So there's something wrong. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change his line thickness. See, he's got only drawing and fill, and that's what it was. They were filled. So I'm going to double click on this, and just for, he doesn't have to do this, but I'm going to put no fill. And then I'm going to check this, and I'm going to show him just how he can change this to hairline. And I draw in red. He draws in CMYK. I'm going to change it to RGB just for people to do. So now we're going to draw a line. And see, now it's a hairline, and we can get P. I'm going to rotate it at 12.85, I think it was. Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it. But if I keep those lines a hairline, they're gonna be touching. So I'm going to grab this line and I'm going to make it, whoa, I know nothing about millimeters, like that, 1/2 millimeter. So I'm going to turn that line into an object and then take this line, and I could have just turned it into an object first. And then I'm going to left click, right click, and see what I got. I have a box. So now what I can do is take an ellipse, holding down the control button and hit P. And then hold down the shift key and have it grow. No, I was holding down the cap button and not the shift key. So now what I'm going to do is cut that line away, and actually from the inside too. And see, it went all the way around. And one thing you can do is select it, go to object, break the curve apart, and then you can just delete these lines. So now and what happened to my image? Oh, I must have deleted it. Must have deleted part of the logo. There we go. See, if I delete it, it'll delete all the lines. So if I go to object and break the curve apart, when I select on this, it leaves that one we cut. And maybe I didn't cut the other side because I just want this short line. So now I'm going to take these two guides away. I'm going to take this line and make it, that's a little bit thick. And then I'm going to hit F12 on the keyboard, and I'm going to tell it to give it round end caps. And I'm going to make it that blue. And they're a little bit off. They're not closer than the other one was, or as close as the other one was. So now I'm going to Control D to make a duplicate and alternate C to make it rotate from the center. And I'm going to rotate it, I forgot what the number was, 25.71. And then Control D all the way around. And, you know, some people are going to say big deal. And maybe, you know, because it's a tattoo shop, maybe perfection isn't the key. Let me grab the one that's kind of at that same angle. Well, I guess it's this one. You know, just kind of look at the difference between the two lines. You know, the circle is perfect. And I'm not saying he needs to change it because it'll work. And also there's a little bit of, you know, the M is a little bit messed up, but maybe that's the text, you know, very easily fixed. And anyway, that's just my suggestion. Or some people might want to know how to do that for anything else. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.